A couple of people here might know me. My name is Kelyne Reis. I'm from Brazil. Have been living altogether in Germany for 30 years, with a pause in the middle for 9 years where I was living in the States. And so coming from Brazil, living in Germany, and all of a sudden I was in Finland. And the way that I paint is very colorful, very plain, and I paint with a lot of layers, a lot. I always mix my hues and one layer, second layer, mix again, a third layer, and so on. I keep mixing colors to do layers, so I don't mix up a bottle of hue and then do 3 or 4 layers with that color. So for each layer there's a new mixture, and that makes the process very slowly. Human painting is ready. And I am again the artist in residence for by the Kaputa, right? institution. And last year I came to Hämeenlinna, spent here 3 weeks, and I was fascinated about how people interact here, how people care for the environment. Maybe I didn't get in touch with very young people, so I'm talking about the ones that I got in touch, because the new generation is changing everywhere. But I'm talking about the people that I got to meet last time, and it was very interesting to see that. So the details, so everything is seen. If there's a different flower here, especially me, she looks and says, "Oh, is that cute?" Or "Hi." And we don't do that anymore in Brazil, because we have everything. We have everything almost all the time. It's not this flower, it's another one, but everything is there, or almost everything. And so last year when I came here, a year before I started reading about Hämeenlinna and what to paint, because we had an exhibition last year, and I decided to look for a woman, an artist. So I did something last year that was the Victorian artist. Fun. And but for this year, I said, okay, I will go a little bit deeper into Finland, history of folklore, culture, and so. Then I started researching a year, and I found this epic, Kaputa. And for sure I didn't read everything, but reading a little bit about that, normally a little bit in the Wikipedia, a little bit somewhere else, and I found very interesting when I met Ilmata, if I'm not pronunciation right, sorry. Again, a woman that created everything. Through this woman came everything that we have, and I found it very interesting. And my first idea was to paint something related to Ilmata or Kalevala also. Then I thought, but something here is wrong. I am from Brazil, I live in Germany, why am I painting something about Finland? So that stimulated me to look a little bit further into our culture in Brazil. We have a lot of tribes, native tribes. Maybe you know a little bit about Brazil. We were discovered in the 1500s. The Portuguese came and discovered us, and but we had and still have a lot of native tribes, and they have each one different folklore, different thoughts, and different ways to deal with everything. And then I said, okay, I will look for a couple of legends in Brazil or from Brazil that I grew up with. And then I was very surprised when I realized that a lot of our legends we thought came from the natives, they were changed by the Portuguese. So they were not the way that the natives put out there. But the Portuguese people, they wanted to put Jesus Christ somewhere and to, so they changed. So I had to go a little bit further back before the Portuguese came. Because the same way that is the Kelyne, nobody wrote about that. That's oral folklore. So people talk, people say, oh, don't go there because there's a monster. Don't do that because there is someone without a leg and smoking something and will run after you. So we know that, but nobody wrote that. So I had to keep going further and further back, and then I found more than these two, but I found two that I liked because they also had something to do with women. And I was going to do a parallel between Ilmata and something from Brazil. So if not, doesn't make any sense why I'm here talking about Brazilian legends. And but I want to find kind of a correlation, a Brazilian correlation to Ilmata. I didn't find anyone that created the universe or created the world, but I found a lot of female figures. They save and they protect the forests, and they protect the animals, or they fall in love with a god and created something. Again, women creating something. So, therefore, I decided to paint two of them, those legends, together. And one is the Kaipora, and the other one is the Victoria Hedge. So I put them together with our forest and together with the lakes from Finland. I put it all there in this painting. And it's a different way that I paint because normally I don't know what I'm going to paint. I have just forms, and the colors make these forms alive. But here I had to know what I'm painting because I could not make something completely abstract and come here and say, two legends from Brazil. People would look at me and say, she's crazy. Come all this way to Finland to present that. And so I decided to have the Kaipora. I will tell you who was Kaipora, who is Kaipora, because we say Indus, so the native people, they still believe that there's a Kaipora out there. And Kaipora is a female figure, let's say a woman, very short, with one say dark skin, the other says very white skin. She rides a wild pig, or is the name. And normally she has something on her hands, and very bright red hair, and huge. And she protects the animals and the forest. How does she do that? She appears somewhere if a hunter comes or somebody comes and wants to kill more animals or to take more from the forest that is necessary for him to survive. She will do something to scare him and to make him run away, because that's not fair. You should not take more than you need to survive. And that's what she does. And she also tell the animals that hunters are coming, so they should disappear. And how does she scare the hunters? She does very weird noise, but very weird. So every native, doesn't matter if they are from north, northeast, southern, or middle of Brazil, maybe she looks a little bit different, but everyone knows there's a Kaipora out there. When you go hunting, pay attention. Never go by yourself because of the Kaipora. She will do something. If you treat in the wrong way, you're going to have a problem with you. And she's awful. She's very, very awful. And that was the Kaipora. And the other one, that is also comes from Amazonia. Amazonia is north from Brazil, where we have the forest, the big forest. And the tribes there, they had this legend that the moon was a god or a goddess, and that used to come down to the earth every evening and go to the tribes and look for the prettiest young lady and take with her or with him to the skies and make from this woman, this young lady, make stars. So each star is a woman from a tribe, a young, beautiful woman that was taken to the skies. And in one of the tribes, there was one woman, one young woman. She got in love with that god, completely in love. And doesn't matter, or didn't matter that people told her, you know, if he comes or she comes and take you, you're not going to be here anymore. You're going to be a star up there. So, and we don't want that. And you will die. So I don't care. And she got sick because she was so in love with this god or goddess. And she got sick. She stopped eating, and she was very depressed. And one day she was just sitting close to a lake or a river, and she saw the reflection of the moon inside the water. And she was so in love that she thought, the God came to visit me. I will meet him. But she could not swim, so she jumped into the water and she died. Because she could not swim. And that was not the God there, it was just a reflection. But the God got so amazed about this. He said, my God, she loved me. And I will not take her to the skies with me. I will transform her in the start of the water. And that's how the Vitória Regia came. Vitória Regia is this huge water lily. Huge, can be 3 meters diameter. And has a flower in the middle, not very in the middle or in one of the side. And has kind of something like a plate, green, with a little bit marble on it. And that's the Vitória Regia. The Vitória Regia can hold a kid. So a kid can step there or sit there. It's huge. If you haven't seen that before, take a look at the internet. It's a beautiful thing. And one detail is that the flower comes out only in the night. And then, so the god turned that young lady into a star of the night and the water. And then I thought, okay, again something regarding water and the wind, like Ilmata. So now was what I looked for to paint. And here I put it both together. So I put Ilmata, I put Caipora and I put the Vitória Regia. If we look just for one part of it, we are going to see someone here that has a red hair, and this here, this body here, for me, is my Caipora, it's the woman. And if we use our imagination, we could take everything here away and put a white pig here, and she would be riding this pig. But this woman is transforming herself into this Vitória Regia. And that's the flower of the Vitória Regia and the plate where the Vitória Regia is. So I didn't put it both separate, I mingled both in one thing. And I didn't want to have them there nowhere. I wanted to have water, I wanted to have sky, I wanted to have forest. And therefore I put them in a context that they are in the middle of the forest. For me, it's the middle of the forest, my forest. And with my trees, with my plants, and with the lakes that we have here in Finland. And then where are the lakes? The lakes are here. So that was my representation of Finland in these paintings. Everywhere I put not 1,000 of lakes, but a couple of them, saying that we are so far away. I'm from there, down there, and Finland is here. But actually, we think in the same way. There's something that created everything. It doesn't matter if it's a god or a woman or a bird or eggs or a crazy woman hunting the huntress, or a woman that got in love with something and believed in this love and died for it. So if we go very deep into what I painted, so this time it's very figurative, but I want to go deeper. I want to go to ask women, good that there's no men here, the power that we have, power to create the world, power to save the forest, power to save the animals, power to have kids, power to everything. And that's what I want to put here. So the power that we have as women. And this correlated to legends. I grew up with those legends. We have thousands of them. I could have chosen, I don't know, hundreds of them to paint. But they talk to me. Even though they're not creating the world, but they talk to me. And they want to be part of something. They want to come to Finland and to show that in Brazil we have a very special, very interesting culture. And they come mostly from our natives. We also have things from the Portuguese, and we also have amazing folklore that came from Africa. We are this mingled from at least three different races, if you should say that nowadays. We have the natives and different kinds of. Everywhere in Brazil we have different tribes. We have different Africans come to Brazil. They didn't come just from one country. They were brought to Brazil from different countries in Africa. And they brought their culture with them too. And we have the Portuguese people. At the beginning, okay, they were not the brightest one and they were not the best one. Like always, when a country colonized another one, the first ones that they send are the bad people. Like they did in Australia, the other ones, sometimes they take them from the prison and send there. So the beginning is always very difficult. But I mean, bring the baby with, that's nice. and that's the point, that they also brought something with them. And we are the spot with Brazilians, or with natives, with Africans and from different countries, with Portuguese, and also Spanish people, French people, and people of the Netherlands. They come to the northeast of Brazil. So that is what makes us, the Brazilian people, something different. Our language is different. So people say, yeah, you speak Portuguese. If you go to Portugal, it's the same language. It's not. We have a different language. It's Portuguese, but a Portuguese that was mixed to all of them. We have a lot of native words in our language, what the Portuguese people don't have. We have things that came from Africa that the Portuguese people don't have. So, and that, I try to put everything here, even though maybe you think, oh, she's going very far away to explain this painting. But it's not. When I'm painting, I have a relationship with the painting. I'm not just painting. I put something there and this painting starts talking to me. Like, Kaputa was talking to me. I changed a lot before this Kaputa was ready. Because she didn't want to have that color of hair, she didn't want to have this color of skin. She kept changing the Kaputa because she was not happy. And it sounds crazy, but that's the way that it happens. Or the trees, or the plants, they wanted to be like this, not very real, but not very abstract. So they want to be seen, but also be interpreted. That you could go inside there and have your interpretation. If I'm talking here about, oh yeah, we have lakes. Where are the lakes? Why? There maybe was an insect that made these holes at the place. But it's not in my mind. What's the lake? What's a lake? Or where are the lakes? The Finnish lakes. Because I haven't seen, looking with Google Maps, I haven't seen something like Finland. It's spots with water everywhere. And it inspired me to put there. And yeah, that's what I did the last, I worked 5 months in this painting, working every single day, but a week, I took a week break. And normally I work between 6 and 8 hours a day. But it took me a year to come to this painting. So I researched a year about Finland, about Brazil, about our identity in Brazil. That was that. And I hope if there's something you'd like to know a little bit more about the paint, even though I know that when I ask, do you have any questions? That here in Finland, nobody asks anything. But I would be grateful to answer something. And one detail that I have to say is regarding why I'm here, why I came back. Again, I am an artist in residence. And in this residency from Kaputa, it's amazing because it's completely different than other residents that I have been and I know about. Normally, if you are an artist in residence, you go somewhere and you work. You get a studio, sometimes you get a place to live in the studio or outside the studio, and you work. And at the end of the time that you spend there, there's an exhibition. And that's it. Sometimes if you are lucky, you have an exchange with other artists if there's somebody else there. But that's it, you go there to work. If you feel fit enough, go take a walk and go get to know the area. But here it's different. Last year was already so, and this year even more, because I'm not just working here, I've been painting here too. It's not to feel like, yeah, she's just going around. I'm not. But I'm getting to know a little bit more from Finland, like I did last year. Therefore, my painting changed from last year to this year, because I tried to put something that I got to know here in my way of painting. So this year I'm getting even more contact with this culture, with food. I keep asking, what's typical here? Is this typical? Oh, if it's typical, I want to taste. What do you do? How you talk? Is that normal? No, it's not the way that I talk. It's not the way that the people here talk or communicate. And I'm trying to get as much as possible. And this residency is giving me this opportunity to do that. What others, they don't think about that. You come here and walk, and then you go. And I come here, and I'm being in the middle of life. I'm getting contact with people. We are often in a workshop where people come and get crazy and they think I'm not coming back. But I am learning from everyone that comes to this workshop. I take a lot with me. Again, I'm not giving a workshop to Brazilians, to Germans or Americans like I used to do, but Finnish people. It's a different reaction, it's a different interaction. And I take that with me. So I went to music concert, amazing, things that I don't do in Germany. I'm not a classic music connoisseur, but I went to 3 different ones, or 4, and it was amazing to see how people do music here and how people, the audience, react. I come from a country, if you go to a music concert, doesn't matter which one, you cannot sit still. And in Germany, I already saw that people sit there in a concert, and sometimes it's kind of not a classic, but a swing, something that you can move yourself, and everybody's sitting there like it's a funeral. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. It's just that if we're in Brazil, we went to a concert, and I was just, we looked around, almost no one was moving, and it was a very, swing. And is that bad? It's not. But I'm getting to know that too. So if you go to another country and you bring only your way of life, you miss a lot. You miss a lot, and I don't want to miss that. I started learning about Finland last year, and I hope that I can learn even more this year. And if there is a possibility to come back, I will come back, and maybe with a completely different painting. Because now I'm getting more inputs, more inspiration. And that's Yeah, so one thing regarding painting, that normally I don't paint like this, the background. It's not my background. My background is very smooth, like the rest, always. Um, but since I didn't have a lot of time and I was getting completely crazy painting 4 different paintings. And at the same time, and I could not have them together. I told the lady today that yesterday was the first time I saw my painting. I have seen this painting before. I painted 4 pieces. And to see all the pieces kind of together, I had to put it on the floor, step on the stairs, and look from the top to have an idea of what was going on there. And yesterday, when we hung the piece, was the first time I saw the piece. So the same way that you're coming, you said, oh, I haven't seen that before. Happened to me yesterday. I have seen my painting before yesterday. And then I got to see everything, interaction from Yamata wants to talk to me. So, like Caipora, with the Vitória Regia, with the wind. There's a wind there somewhere. So moving this hair. And with the planes, with the females inside that planes. The females and a little bit erotic that's there too. And everything is together. And I could see that before. I saw that yesterday. And I have to say, I was very amazed. And a painting has nothing to do with beautiful or not beautiful. Because that's a taste. You can love yellow, I love orange. You can love blue and I love green. And I say, oh, if your paint is blue and yellow, I don't like. It's not about that. A paint is about what I feel when I look at that paint. I always say that, especially the way that I paint, that normally I don't, okay, I didn't know what colors will be inside that font. I didn't know that before. So it happened during I was painting. But normally I don't do any sketches. I don't know what will be there. And if I don't do sketches, I don't do a small painting of a large painting. People ask me, yeah, so you don't know if it's ready because you have nothing to compare. And if you remember, I told you in the beginning, we have a relationship. We talk. The paint talks all the time with me. And in a special point, there's nothing there. I don't hear anything else. There's nothing coming from the painting. That's the moment that's ready. There's no conversation with me anymore. The conversation or this dialogue will happen to somebody else. Not everyone. Not everyone will come here and stuck here talking and trying to discover things. But somebody will walk by and come back the moment. Okay, and start seeing things that I didn't paint. That's what happens when we go to a museum. We don't stop in front of all the paintings, but we walk by and all of a sudden, a moment, I saw something, then you go back. So this dialogue is happening now between the piece and you. And it's always, for me, always a present when somebody come back and say, I'm seeing that, and that. And I didn't paint enough. And it's amazing because this person's having a dialogue with that piece. Doesn't mean that you need to buy the piece to keep talking to the piece. But it's already amazing to see that stop talking to me and start talking to somebody else. And that's always my goal, to have something that I would be able to talk to somebody else. And one day this somebody maybe take one of the paints home, or not. But the first point is that, was talking to me, now it's talking to somebody else. And that's always for me grateful. Yeah. We still have time talking to us? Yeah, that's it about the painting. And is there maybe something that anyone here would like to know about me, or about Brazil, about folklore, about something? Or I talked a lot and it's very clear. Finally. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you for your speech and thank you for your painting. I like it a lot.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
But I wanted to ask something.
Yeah, please.
You said that you usually you paint like some abstract and more abstract painting, and I thought that are you going to continue with this more like presentative like way?
Okay.
How do you feel? Is
Yeah.
it like telling you more stories?
I have
What's the direction
okay.
next?
Just to correct something. I don't paint abstract. My paints are abstract figurative. There's
Okay.
always figures there.
Okay.
Always.
Yeah.
Just that those figures, let's say, I don't make a plant, I don't make a tree,
Yeah.
or so leaves, but figures are there, always.
Okay.
Just they are figures or forms. I didn't think about what was drawing, because yesterday in the workshop I was telling people that normally when I'm working on computer or on the phone talking and so, I always have some kind of piece of paper around me and a pencil or a pen, and I start doing something without thinking. Sometimes it's an envelope or something that I paid. And without thinking, so maybe today I'll do something round, and then in a couple of hours I'm sitting there again, and I go from this circle a little bit further, and I come back, and sometimes a week long I'm doing something on this drawing without thinking. It's just almost connecting something that I'm not thinking, because I'm busy on the phone, I'm busy working on computer. And I have thousands of pieces of papers with these crazy things, thousands of them. I don't throw anything away. Then if you see my, it's very funny, my file, I have the Quittung, not the Quittung, the recipe that I paid, something that I have to call the fund company, everything's there, because sometimes my drawings are so small. Huh? And then when I want to paint, said, okay, I want to start a new series. I always paint in series, so at least 3 works, but not from the same form. So I go to my file and I look to the forms that I draw, and sometimes I take one piece of something, just one piece, not everything, and I paint that, and I started putting colors inside the spots and turned into something. So therefore it's not this kind of abstract that you can see everything or nothing. No?
Yeah.
And this kind of abstract where colors are there, even though abstract painting is very difficult, it's not just putting colors there, like a lot of people think. It's not. To be able to paint abstract, you have to be a very good artist.
Mm.
Yeah.
And what about the?
Yeah, in the end, yeah, going there. Yeah, so I have the forms. Yeah, and these forms in my paint, people always see something, even though I didn't paint, for example, an elephant. But people come, one or say, I see an elephant. The other comes, I see a baby. I see I don't know what, because the forms are there. Here, I needed to paint something that people could see, or not just imagine. If you keep looking, you're gonna see something else there too. But at least you see that.
Yeah, but I'm interested if you're going to continue with
Yes.
the mythological issues. That's
I
more
make
like,
both.
Yeah.
Like I said, because I work in series,
Yeah.
I make that, I make this, and I go back to the other one. Or I integrate something in my other style. No? So I don't think that I will be painting only figurative, even though there's not a real figurative. Everything is a little bit different than the normal. But here it's easier to tell a story that I knew from the beginning. In my other paintings, the story happens during I'm painting. Can you understand the difference?
Yeah, sure.
And maybe I can put both together, but go completely to to a way to tell a story that I already know from the beginning, I'm not very sure. But that I'm going to keep putting that together with my other way of painting, I will. Because not that different than
Are
what
we
I
going to see an exhibition here in Hämeenlinna of
Sorry?
your paintings?
So I'm gonna talk in Finnish. 23. päivä alkaa kirjastolla näyttely. Siellä on Kelyne, minä ja Elina Vänttinen. Ja me ollaan, se on 2 viikkoa suunnilleen. Olisiko 11.8. kun se loppuu?
Okay, I asked about the exhibition.
Yeah. And there we are going to show something different.
Yeah.
That's,
You can tell,
yeah.
yes.
It's a project that we started last year, so me and myself, that we are painting together. Without painting together, we are painting together. It's a collaboration. That one of us starts something or paint something till it's ready, or maybe not, and then give that to the other. And this paints further. Not paint my paint, or I'm not painting her paint. I paint something related to that. I make that painting mine in the moment that I'm painting. And then, if that's ready now, it's okay. If not, we give back to the other one, almost like a ping pong game. And then she does the rest. Right now, this week I worked in a painting that Mintu started, and I did my part. And now the painting's going back to her, and she decided if it's okay like this, if her part is enough, or if she wants to paint more on that painting. And yeah, so we are going to do that if we can.
It's a nice idea.
Yeah.
And you are like painting the same painting, not separate.
Not separate. It's the same
That's
thing.
interesting.
And it's a very, actually, what comes out is something special, because we have completely different styles. And, but at the end, there's a harmony. It's something that we cannot explain. You need to see that. Because one could think, if you put the 2 styles in one paint, it's crazy, it's awful. But it's not. It's not.
Looking forward to it.
So I hope that we can do 2 more paintings, because I got kind of sick the day before yesterday. Normally my voice is not like this. And but I think we can do 2 more paintings, maybe small ones. And these ones I will start and Mintu will.
Okay.
Something else? Yeah, so that's it. So my painting, it's it's all about legends we grew up with, and the same way with you guys. You have a lot of legends, you have a lot of folklore, you have a lot of background, and a lot of things that you do today, maybe you don't think that it comes from back there, because it's a routine. You don't think anymore, like things that we do in Brazil.
Yeah, and the same as in Brazil, the Christianity coming, it changed everything. And the old stories get lost.
Yeah, that's
or didn't get lost, but people forget.
we have, we Brazilians, we are very, I don't know how to say that in English. We believe in a lot of things. For example,
We don't.
yeah, we do. We believe in, that's crazy. But I keep doing that because I grew up doing this. For example, don't let your shoes with the sole to the top. Every time you see one shoe that is turned, so go and turn that back to the right. That the sole has to be on the floor and not on the air. And that comes from natives, not from the Portuguese. And the natives say, somebody will die. Somebody dies every minute, everywhere. But and then when we see that, we go there and say, oh, somebody will die. But there's a reason for that. So when we walk around, and our shoes are dirty. We bring all the dust from outside. And if you put there, and the sole is in the top, so could be that it's just dirty and things that should not be inside the house will fly away there, and you have all that inside your house. But the natives, they don't say that. They say just somebody will die. So we learn. No? And then we got something from the Portuguese. Don't put money on the table. Nobody put money on the table. No? We'll bring some, we'll take a lot away. So will something bad happen? Okay, that's one way to think, but the other one is, yeah, money is dirty. Right? If you have a paper piece, the money, real one, you never know what happened with that that cash. Maybe it was on the floor, maybe people stepped on the top of it, maybe it was in the toilet. We can have an idea what happened to that money. So we, in Brazil, say, we don't put that on the table that we are going to eat, because something bad will happen. So we believe in those things because we put things together. The ones from the natives, the ones that the Portuguese brought, the ones that the African people brought, and we believe in a lot of things, I'll give you one example that's very interesting because now it's from Africa. The Africans, they have a lot of gods and goddesses. Now they have different religions, they have Umbanda, they have Candomblé, very interesting. And we have that too, even though we were Catholics in Brazil, I'm still, we put that into our religion too. For example, there is one goddess from the Candomblé. She's the goddess of the water. I also thought about to paint here because in March, but then I said no. I want to go to the natives. And she's the goddess of water. She's very pretty, and she loves perfume, she loves makeup and mirrors. And every 31st of December, if you can, we go to a beach, we take white flowers, we dress in white, we go there and we throw that flower to the sea, to Iemanjá, that's her name, because she will protect us, everybody.
I've seen pictures of that. Yeah.
And
But it's the same in West Africa, they have Mami Bata.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. No, that comes from Africa.
Yeah.
And we do that. So even though we are Catholics, but we have everything. No? We have Candomblé, we have the beliefs of the natives, and when we have the things that came with the Portuguese or the European people to Brazil. And we look like everything. There is no typical Brazilian. I don't know if you already went to Brazil or know any Brazilians. The first time I came to Germany and they started asking me where I was from, and I said Brazil. Oh, but you don't look typical. I said, what's typical? We have from the very, very dark and short to the very, very white skinned and tall with blue eyes, green eyes. We have everything, everything. So everyone could be from Brazil. There's no the Brazilian. And everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people think Brazilian woman is what we see in the carnival parade. So the dark, so with curves and can dance, and so that's typical. That's not typical. That's carnival. But they have no typical Brazilians. Not the way that they look like. What we have just one language in Brazil, and that's Portuguese. There is no dialect, nowhere. We have accent. So I know if somebody comes from the northeast or comes from the southern part of Brazil or the middle, I know because they have a different accent, but we speak everywhere Portuguese. Here you have different dialects. In German, I know Hohe German, so High German, but if I go to a different area, I sit there and I have no idea what they're talking about because they use dialects. We don't have that in Brazil. It's something that keeps us together, having just one language. Even though the southern part of Brazil is much more developed than the rest, they are the ones that are making the money for us. São Paulo and the three states to the south. Because a lot of Italians, a lot of Germans came to this area and they were used to work more. The northeast of Brazil, where the slaves came and we have a lot of natives, is not that developed. A lot of tourism because they have the beautiful beach, but we have, so it's a very interesting country, very, very interesting. If you have a chance to go there, go. It's we have the most beautiful city in the world, that's Rio de Janeiro. And we have a very interesting folk. Sometimes they have nothing to eat, but they have such a sympathy, they have such a joy to show people, to have people coming. And this is amazing. So I can just say, if you have an opportunity to go there. It's worth. I think we talked enough, or still something there that I could. I'm so glad you came back. So can you tell?
I was a bit lost.
Nice.
Ihan mettelee sitten kuitenkin perille.
Jos kysyin neuvoa.